Today, we are tackling a question that, let's be honest, so many of us have asked ourselves. What is the actual difference between stress and anxiety? I mean, they can feel almost exactly the same, right? But it turns out knowing how to tell them apart is a total game changer for managing them. So let's dive right in.
You know that feeling. Your heart is absolutely pounding. Your thoughts are just spinning out of control. You feel completely overwhelmed. And in that moment, you might wonder, is this just a really stressful day? Or is this something else? That's the exact question we're going to break down.
Okay, so to figure out where stress and anxiety go their separate ways, we first have to understand where they come from. And it all starts with this ancient, totally natural alarm system that's built right into your body.
And that alarm system is called the fight or flight response. This is really the origin point for both of these feelings. It's this deep, fundamental survival instinct. So when your brain senses a threat, and it really doesn't care if it's a tiger in the jungle or a scary deadline at work, it pulls the exact same internal alarm core.
And this whole sequence happens in a flash. First, your brain detects a threat. Instantly, your body just floods with stress hormones. That's what makes your heart beat faster and your breathing get quicker. Your senses get super sharp as your body gets ready to either, well, fight the danger or run for your life. That whole physical process, that is stress. So, if you remember one thing from this, let it be this. Stress is that initial trigger and the whole physical reaction that follows. Anxiety, on the other hand, is your body's response to the stress itself. It's that feeling of dread or worry that can kind of stick around. They are so deeply connected, but, and this is key, they are not the same thing.
All right, now that we've got that foundation, let's get into the nitty-gritty and really learn how to spot the difference. And trust me, knowing these distinctions is absolutely crucial, because that's how we learn to handle them effectively.
So let's start with the common symptoms of stress. You've got the faster heartbeat, maybe some irritability or anger, that feeling of just being completely overwhelmed. I'm sure a lot of these sound pretty familiar. Just notice how physical and, immediate they feel. This is your body kicking into that high alert fight or flight mode.
Okay, now let's look at anxiety. Right away, you can see the overlap, can't you? The faster heartbeat, the stomach issues, it's all there. But notice what's new. That feeling of unease or dread that just hangs around. The sweating, the nervousness, the restlessness. So here's our first big clue. While the physical stuff is super similar, the mental and emotional side is where things really start to diverge.
And this table right here, this is where it all clicks into place. Let's walk through it. First up, the trigger. Stress is a reaction to a specific external threat, like a big presentation or being stuck in traffic. Anxiety, though, it can just linger, sometimes without any clear reason at all. Next, let's talk duration. Stress is usually short-term. Once the threat is gone, the feeling usually goes with it. But anxiety? Oh, it can hang around long after that initial stressor is a distant memory. And finally, the nature of it. Stress is a reaction to something outside of you. Anxiety is your internal reaction to that feeling, and it can keep going all on its own.
Okay, so we know the difference. Now for the most important part. What in the world do we do about it? Let's talk about some real, actionable tools you can use to manage both of these really powerful feelings. When you're right in the middle of feeling totally overwhelmed, you need something that's going to work like right now. Think of these as your go-to toolkit for immediate relief. Super simple things, like focusing on a word like calm, picturing a peaceful place in your mind, or just slowly counting to 10. These can actually interrupt that fight or flight signal and give your nervous system a chance to calm down. One of the most powerful tools you have is literally your own breath. It's always with you. So try this with me. Inhale slowly, hold it for just a second, and then exhale all the way out. Just doing that a few times sends a direct message to your brain that says, hey, the danger's past. It's safe to relax now.
Now, beyond those in-the-moment fixes, building up your resilience is all about the long game. Things like getting some physical activity every day, talking things out with a friend, and getting enough sleep, they all help your body handle those stress hormones better. And that last one on the list, it's a really big one. Accepting that you just can't control everything can seriously cut down on the fuel for both stress and anxiety.
And finally, it's so important to remember this. While stress and anxiety are totally normal parts of being human, they shouldn't be running your life. It's vital to recognize the signs that it might be time to reach out and get some professional support.
So here's the bottom line. It's actually really simple. If these feelings are consistently getting in the way of your work, your relationships, or just your general happiness, that's the signal. That's your cue.
It is absolutely not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that it's time to talk to a professional who has the tools to help.
And here are some more specific warning signs to keep an eye out for. If you notice things like irrational fears popping up, or big changes in your sleeping or eating habits, or just a low mood that won't seem to lift, these are all really clear indicators that you could benefit from some medical advice. Please don't ever hesitate to seek it out.
So we've unpacked the biology, we've spotted the key differences, and we've put together a toolkit for relief. See, the real power comes from just knowing what you're dealing with. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know, what's one tool you're going to try to use to find your calm the next time you feel that wave of overwhelm? Thanks for tuning in.